Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's Saturday, September 14th, 2024, and it's the heat is back. It's 90 degrees, and got the shade over here on the hive, so I'm going to try and get in down there. So the last video you saw down here, I had that little swarm that I had the banked queen. So later that day, I started going down the line doing my queen right checks, and I did find another hive down here that was full of wax moths and ate up. And it's all taken down, and I've laid it all out there. And I'm going to pick that up this evening and put it in the scrape pile. And I also found hive 29 that was queenless, and it had been queenless a while. There was no brood whatsoever left in there, no cap brood, nothing. And the bees that were left had backfilled, and this was a 2 deep hive. It had a fairly decent population, so all the bees that were left just kept foraging and filling the thing in. So it's full of pollen, bee bread, and nectar, and a little bit of capped honey, but it's just everywhere. And didn't find a queen. The population was a little bit low for a double deep hive. So I thought, well, shoot, I'll just use that banked queen. So what I did with it, the hive, I took the top off and I moved it to a single deep further down. Let's see, that would have been 43, 37, and it was a single deep that it was strong and it could use another box. So I just did a newspaper combine, stuck the top box on there, and I took the 3 frames out of that tiny swarm of queen and all, and put it on the side of the bottom box that was remaining, and just left it. And that's been a week ago. So that little queen, she wasn't laying yet, but she looked to me like she was about ready to. So hopefully the accepting hive accepted her and didn't kill her, and because there might have been a queen in there, but from what I saw, there was no sign of any type of a laying queen, that's for sure. But there could have been virgin queens in there. And that may have been where some of these little swarms were coming from, was off that hive, if they were trying to requeen and supersede. I didn't see any supersedure cells in there. So yeah, so we're gonna get in there and check on that. And also, I had another little swarm show up down here, and I captured it. And it's in one of those apimays over there. And she's definitely a virgin queen. And she's been in there a week, so need to check on her, see if she needs fed, see if they need fed. It was a little bit bigger population, so I didn't add anything to it, and it was late in the day, so I just got them in there, got them set up on some old brood comb, and left them alone. So I'm going to check on those 2 hives, going to see if that banked queen survived in her new home, and hopefully she's laying, and check on that little, the tiny swarm too, and see how they're doing. Let's get started. Okay, here's where tiny swarm 2 is. You might recognize that location. That's where roached out hive 9 was that I did the wax moth video on. So I put them here, and what's weird is I had the entrance choked way down, and it had 2 blocks. The other block is laying down there on the ground. I do see some bee flight coming in and out of there. It's a good thing. And all this occurred late at night, or it was getting dark on me. And I was manipulating frames, running around with my head cut off, trying to get a nuke box and get this all set up. And I just noticed I left the frame sitting there. What in the world? I know I put some honey frames in this hive 10 right here. This is the one with the Wildflower Meadows queen I've been trying to get built up. It only had 6 frames in it. So hives 1 and 2 over here, when I was doing my queen inspections, queen right inspections. Those two hives were so heavy. They had, the top deeps are just full of honey. Very little brood in the top. So I robbed 6 frames, I think. Three from each one. And I moved them around into some of these lighter weight hives. So I know 2 are in here. So that's probably, I don't know what that is. The bees like it, they're sitting on it. Hopefully it wasn't one of those honey frames. I don't think it was. Let's get in this tiny swarm 2 and see if it's queenless or not, because it had that virgin queen in there. I don't think I fed this. I just put one of those honey frames in here. So I see bees right here, so they look like they're doing okay. So this swarm, there's no way it will survive winter, so this is just an extra queen. And then we'll try and get her through. Yeah, that's good sized. Look at that, 4 frames. So now I know where I can put that other frame that's sitting over there. I can just drop it in here. But we need to check on their food stores and all of that. Main thing I want to do is see, hive beetle, see if there's a queen in here. And even if she is mated, it's been 1 week, so she won't be laying yet. So this is bee bread. It's pollen mixed with nectar, honey. This is what they feed the young bees, the larvae. Basically, that's food. This swarm here is actually bigger than the other one. I had to boost that other one up with the brood frame. I don't think I put a brood frame in here, but I may have. We'll see. Oh yeah, that's all liquid right there. So that may have been on this frame when I put it in there. Or they could have foraged it, but I doubt it, because it hadn't rained in quite a while. It's been hot, dry. We're in a dearth. I need to get my virgin queen eyes calibrated here. There's a drone right there. Hey dude. So I did put a brood frame in, because here's capped brood. So that will help when you're putting a swarm into an empty box. If you can put a brood frame in with them, that'll hold them in there. They won't want to leave, as opposed to just empty frames. I don't see her there. Nope, here she is. She's still pretty tiny. She's a blondie. I like those. They're easy to spot. Yeah. Okay. So they're doing well. I could feed them, but I don't really need to. I could put a little sliver of pollen patty on here. Don't really need to. I'm gonna wait till she can get mated. And mating this time of year is not very successful. So she's got to get mated before she'll even be eligible to be a banked queen. I saw a small hive beetle right there, and it's gone. I think it flew. They do fly. All right, let's get around there to hive 29 and check on it. Put our dummy brick here. Come back, dummy. Almost left that frame laying there again. I bet it came out of here. So I'll just these bees here have got to be from this hive, so I'll just shake them off, make them madder than hell. And that's a good good frame with lots of comb. So that really needs to go in this hive here. I put this on here to reduce this down. It's got an entrance reducer on it, but I wanted to reduce it down because I had some robbing starting up last week. I just saw some yellow pollen go in there. While we're here, let's see what we got going on. So here's our pollen patty. It's been in there 2 weeks. They about got it ate up. No small hive beetle larvae in it. That's good. So this is our Wildflower Meadows queen that we put in here, and it's a pretty weak hive. Just trying to get it built up. Got a few ants in our feeder here. I'll fill this up later, or put some in it. I won't fill it. That's too much for a weak hive to have all that liquid on there. Yeah, so you can see I added more frames to it. Here's a honey frame from hive 1 or 2. And I'm feeding it, trying to get their stores built up so they can overwinter. That's empty. That's got a little bit in it, a little bit of feed. Oh, they're bringing in some pollen. That yellow pollen. And our queen will probably be on this frame right here. Still seeing larvae and capped. So some of that capped ought to be emerging now. Here's our queen right here. Wildflower Meadows queen. VSH Italian. Someone told me where I was seeing those dried out larvae with their heads sticking out, that is where these bees with that queen, the VSH Italian genetics, they will sense that there is a varroa mite in the cell, and they chew it open, and they'll take care of that, and they'll drag that larva out. I thought that was pretty interesting. I did not know that. So here you can see these little empties in here. Those are backfilled with larvae and nectar. I want to get on over here and see how much they've got stored on this side. Some of these are brand new frames I just put in. So there's some, a little bit right there. So this was in there already because there's brood. And quite a few larvae. So their population is going up, just slowly. So there's bee bread. These are frames I've added. So I'll go ahead and put that other frame in. Let's see, I'll put it like right here. And I'll come back and visit this later this evening or tomorrow. So the population is a little better than it was, so I will give them a little bit more sugar water for them to store. If you put too much on there, it'll start, it gets rancid, it gets ants in it, and then they won't take it. All right, took care of that frame. Head on down to the north end. Now I'll show you wax moth disaster number 3. So let's see, it was right there, I believe. And oh no, it's over here. So there's the top box. I drug all those out, and it's been a week. I haven't messed with them, but exposed to the sun and the heat, the light, I don't think those larvae will survive. They especially won't survive because I hit them with my little torch. So I bet the black ants were in there doing their part for nature. All right, here's 29. So the top of 29 is right next to the wax moth disaster number 3. Right there, you can see the newspaper. So that's where the top of this hive went. So that's what you're supposed to do before the wax moths take over. You find your queenless hive, you recognize it, and you take measures to get it queen right. And if you don't have a queen, there's no way to get it queen right, then you will you need to like get these boxes onto another hive to get it protected, or get them in a freezer. So normally when you introduce a queen like that, you want her in a queen cage and you've got more time. And I did have robbing here because I choked this entrance way down, as you can see. I'm going to try and not smoke this, so my queen will be chilled out and not want to be running off. Gonna go nice and easy. So light coverage of bees all across. Let's see, so I put that queen, these are the 3 frames from that little swarm that had the banked queen. These came from the Apame hive that was just over there. And that queen was in there, right in the middle of it. And I put that in there in amongst all the craziness. So this is all nectar and a little bit of pollen bee bred right in here. They seem pretty chilled out for now. And I marked this queen, I think it was that day. So there's the donor frame with that swarm. So this isn't from our queen laying, this is from another hive. So this brood will also, and there she is, this brood will also keep this hive from going laying worker, which I am surprised they did not do that before. So there she is, green dot. So yeah, that worked out just fine. No need to do anything else in here. Just need to get out of there, let her get to laying. I doubt she's even been over in this area. So I saw honey, I saw pollen. Let's see how much this weighs. It's not bad, it's not heavy though. So we're good here. So we saved this hive. And that'll be a first year queen. Next year, hopefully she'll lay up a storm and this will be a honey producer. So I can probably open this up now since we're not having the robbing issues. And it's not a crazy frenzy. Okay, so that's one benefit of these little bitty swarms that you sometimes see in the fall. These little swarms that they're not gonna survive. So do what you can to help them survive long enough that you could use that queen. I still have 2-3 hives to go down this way I've not done queen checks on, so hopefully I don't find wax moth disaster number 4, because that would be disheartening. So, but that's so when you can catch those wax moths before they can take over. So I got this hive just in time. It was getting weak, and it had about the same population in the top. You know, it's not real strong, but it had the 2 deeps and it was declining because there's no queen in there laying at all. So I didn't want to leave it 2 deeps. They can't defend that. Even if I did put this queen in there, you don't want 2 boxes of bees when they're in the decline. So get their space down manageable. The hive down there needed an extra deep. It was pretty full, but I really didn't want to expand it. I was just going to overwinter it like that, but there's an opportunity, and I made a note that, hey, if I ever need to combine a hive, that's the one I would use. And the opportunity came up and I took care of it. So that's the end of the video. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.